From the Woodshed, a casual conversation with Chase Morrill and Ryan Eldridge from Kennebec Cabin Company, the team that inspired the hit show Maine Cabin Masters. From the Woodshed is brought to you by Nelma. See the stamp, trust the quality. By Hero Media Arts, connecting small business with new customers. And by Hammond Lumber, your building project partner. Now, from the Woodshed Studios at KCC headquarters in Manchester, Maine, it's Chase and Ryan.
From the Woodshed, I'm Chase Morrill. With me, as always, Ryan Eldridge and Maggie Morrill.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Our guest today is Dave Benoit from Dr. Dave's Smokehouse. So hopefully everybody's hungry because we are going to be talking about some delicious, delicious food.
I'm always hungry.
You can find us at KennebecCabinCompany.com, MaineCabinMaster.com, our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out our online store at shop.KennebecCabinCompany.com. We always want to thank our sponsors, Hammond Lumber Company, the official building material supplier of the Kennebec Cabin Company, Nelma, Northeast Lumber Manufacturing Association, Hero Media Network, and Kennebec Savings Bank.
Nice job.
Thank you.
I think he could do it with his eyes closed. What do you think, Maggie?
Doubt it.
Me too.
Batting 500 for those.
So today is a very, very exciting day.
Excite? Do I know? We're halfway through January. We're more than halfway through
We're
January.
more than halfway through January. We are going this evening to get our new puppy.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And you have named it?
George.
George.
Little golden retriever puppy from Bear Pond Breeders.
Exciting.
Yeah.
This has been in the works for how long?
Not that long.
It's fairly new.
Fairly new. Sarah's been busy puppy-proofing our house as best she can, but
Good luck.
there's no such thing as puppy-proofing a house.
Well, he's in having a kid, right? What did you start 3 weeks ago planning for it? Instead of 9 months? Well, that's exciting. I
Yeah.
know this will be pumped.
Yeah. It will be. Yeah.
You guys
No,
getting
he'll love it. He'll
busy.
love it.
Just in time for maybe some snow.
Yeah. A little winter puppy.
Everyone's like, what's the best time of year to get a puppy? I mean, for us, we're slower, like work-wise for us the winter, but then you get outside trying to train it. Like,
I think this time of year, right?
yeah.
Because you can't play too hard with puppies. And then, yeah, by the time warm weather's rolling around,
You'll want to get outside with it.
yeah. But the breeder said something interesting about taking the puppy swimming. Like, you want to get it because right now they won't be in the water all the time since they're little.
Yeah.
So you kind of like put them in the bathtub or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that when it comes,
The lab will find the tub.
yeah.
There's a lot of open water right now, too, though.
Yeah. We don't want a little puppy.
So when I was walking in just a minute ago, I was getting harassed by some of our regulars, and they said if I gave them a big shout out, they would start watching the podcast. And at first I was like, why the hell did you watch the podcast anyways? But here this is to Uncle Stevie Ray, John Tyler's out there, all our regulars. I didn't see Helpful Scott, but we love him too. So yeah, thank you to our Woodshed regulars.
Yep.
Start watching the podcast.
Start or listening even.
Listening, yes.
Sit right there and listen to it.
It looks good out there though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some free time, so we got a crew out there putting some clapboards on the outside bar. Better late than never.
Better late than never.
Got some other things going on. It's kind of slow time. It's kind of nice.
You say it's slow, but I feel like
It's not. You're right. It's the building slow, but we have so much stuff to deal with.
yeah. All those people over the course of the summer are like, oh, give me a shout in the wintertime.
It's definitely not like literally. It used to be Christmas. We might talk every week or two after. You know.
Yes.
And before I was like working with you guys, like I remember like Christmas, we'd say, okay, we're done. Go skiing. Just do your thing.
Yep. I did meet some old regulars of yours from Tafulio's.
Oh, who was that?
Anne Marie and Reggie Cobb. They used to go into Tafulio's and they drank prickly
Pear
margaritas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tafulio's was famous for that.
They were up to Saddleback watching their grandson ski race, and we got talking, and yeah,
Small world.
they said say hi.
Good to see you guys.
I asked if they were related to the Cobb family, but they weren't.
Oh, it's kind of random, huh? Because that episode
Yeah.
just aired.
And they have a place up to Sugarloaf. I'm like, oh, you got to be. And no.
There's a lot of Cobbs.
Yeah.
What else is going on? Maggie, skiing's going well?
I wouldn't use the term going well.
It's going.
It's
I
not
wouldn't
even going.
use the word going.
This has been a bad winter.
Just No snow.
There was no snow, and then it keeps breaking, and like there's like scheduling issues.
So she had a race scheduled at Lost Valley
Yeah, and then
with a school bus, but then the basketball team bumped their bus.
well, because basketball team needs a bus, and we don't have enough bus drivers to begin with, and so they just got rescheduled to the day our race was, so we didn't have a bus, and so then they had to cancel us going. We couldn't go to the race anymore because it was like middle of the workday, so they couldn't ask parents to drive. And then they were like, okay, we'll race at like Kent's Hill, which is like our home hill. But then the rope tow at Kent's Hill broke.
Just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
And so we've had one race. It's middle of January. We've barely had any practice.
Yeah.
There's probably one guy like somewhere in the Midwest that knows how to fix that rope tow, or one company that has that part. Some godforsaken place will take forever to get.
It's apparently being fixed because we're supposed to have a race there Saturday. But I guess it was like a major electrical problem or whatever.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. The big Stefan Pukowski race, right?
Yeah.
Was that when you guys all dress up and have fun? The benefit?
No, that was the Marley race. That one also got canceled because there was no snow.
Jeez. Well, it's all going to change this weekend from what I'm seeing.
Yes.
Hoping.
Big-
Snow days.
Snow days.
Yeah, even though it's the end of the semester,
It's all right.
it's kind of inconvenient.
We're hoping for a snow day tomorrow so we can just spend all day with a puppy.
It's totally going to be a snow day. I already called it with the guys.
Great.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a short break. Check out this video of Kennebec Cabin Company, and we'll be back with our guest, Dr. Dave.
Hi, my name is Ashley Morrill. I am the co-owner of Kennebec Cabin Company, home of the Maine Cabin Masters. We really wanted to be able to connect with our fan base, and we wanted to find a space where we could go and feature all of the artists and craftsmen that I discover through the show. If you see something maybe in one of the episodes of Maine Cabin Masters, you know, you can come into the store and whoop, there it is. We've got a little bit of everything for everybody, and then some. This is our lighting section. You have these beautiful handmade lampshades. I think every camp needs a hammock. I say that a lot. I think I say it on every episode that every camp needs a hammock. So when you first walk in, one of the first things you might recognize is the canoe bookshelf. One of the first projects that Chase and I built together. The little onesies, love those. Those are my favorite, might be my favorite item. The beautiful art by Helene Farrar. She actually is our neighbor next door. We're getting new pieces in weekly. Fastest items to always go are these bat boxes. They can house up to 100 bats, but you probably already knew that if you watched the show. We've got all the pictures of all the cabins that we've done hanging on the walls. We have all the artists and craftsmen that I've worked with throughout the shop. You just really feel like you are, you know, right here with us. So come on in and visit us. We are at 915 Western Ave in beautiful Manchester, Maine, or you can also find us online at KennebecCabinCompany.com. We look forward to seeing you.
All right, and we are back with our guest, Dave Benoit.
Hey, Dave.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us.
thank you.
Would you like a water, coffee, or beer?
I would love a beer.
All right. Not sure we having the treasure chest of beer these days.
Nothing goes better with smoked peanuts
Oh,
and a
yeah.
nice.
Looks like you and Chase have a
cold-
Baxter Stowaway, whether you
Oh.
like it or not.
That's wonderful.
And I have my canteen. Someone knows I like these. Those dark. Last year, I drink those dark beers, and I'd be a little lightheaded by the end of the podcast. They want me to stay on my A game.
Right.
So, tell us why we call you Dr. Dave if people that don't know out there and what you do.
I'm a retired chiropractor. Practiced right here in Manchester for 30 years. And just retired in October of this past year. And now I'm doing my hobby smokehouse business full time.
You say hobby.
Well, it's more than a hobby now.
Way more than a hobby.
Way more than.
And yeah, you say retired.
Well, yeah.
Let's go back a little ways. When we started the Woodshed, you were one of the first faces we saw, and you started supporting us from day one. And you're our neighbor just down the road, and you were still doing chiropractic work?
Yes.
You-
And so how long have you been to? It's like 2.5 years. The
2.5.
Woodshed?
2020.
20, yeah, 2.5.
Great.
We weren't much. We've come a long ways, but you were there for all of it,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
and you're a chiropractor,
Yes.
well known in town. But your passion was smoking stuff.
Yes, it's been very much a passion for pretty much my whole and adult life.
So I think a hobby guy might have the smoker out back that he got from, Cabela's or something. But you literally transformed your house or your garage.
Yes.
So, what did you start with as far as for equipment that you used?
So I started with this hobby, quote unquote, about 6 years ago, with a commercial smoker made by a company in Maine by the name of Humphreys, over in West Newfield. They build commercial smokers. A lot of them go to competition teams. Some of them they go all over the world. But that's what I started with, was one of those. They look like they're an upright cabinet smoker that looks like a big square safe
Okay.
on wheels.
Okay.
And now I have 3 of those, 3 commercial smokers, 2 in a dedicated building for cold smoking, which is low temperature smoking. The other one I cook on. So, yeah, it's grown over the last 6 years.
And now you say retired from chiropractic work, but this is taken off.
Oh, yes.
We've been the benefits of many, many treats.
Oh, yes.
too. And
Oh, yes.
if you look in front of us, you tell us what we got here.
So Chase has a bag of smoked peanuts.
That is so good.
And then the cheese curds,
Yes.
the
Those
ones
right
that
from around.
were on the Woodshed's poutine,
Yeah.
the food truck's poutine last summer. I think we went through about 250 pounds of the smoked cheese curds on that poutine
Wow.
last season. It was excellent.
Yeah.
And your chili's been with us since day one. That's a huge favorite.
Yes, that's
Oh,
what
yes.
I hear stories. I hear really good feedback. A lot of I enjoy making the chili for the Woodshed. It's in fact I'm going to make a fresh batch tomorrow morning, and a lot of great ingredients. A lot of love goes into it as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're smoking peanuts, you're smoking cheese curds, you're making your own sauces, smoked meats,
Yep.
and of course, down at the end there, some smoked deviled eggs. What got you into smoking? Like,
About 6 or 7 years ago, my wife gave me this little gift for Christmas. That it's a little, I would call it a smoke generator. It's a little tray made out of perforated steel that you put pellets in, and you start it with a torch, and it generates smoke for anywhere from 6 to 12 hours. Just a little stream of smoke, almost like you'd picture like incense
Yeah.
coming
Yep.
up. But it creates smoke, but not much heat. So I can take that tray, get it going with a torch, get the smoke going, and then put that inside the bottom of my smoker. And then I can, so it just started with that little gift, and then I started experimenting.
That's so cool. Now, were you a big barbecuer before?
Yes. In fact, a few years before I started doing this business, I was into competition barbecue with a buddy of mine from Hollowell who actually built that yellow submarine smoker that.
We ended up with.
That's right.
wait, before you started,
Yes, that was back in the mid 2000, let's say 14, maybe like 8 years ago. My buddy Paul and I from Hollowell, he had this huge smoker on a trailer,
Yeah.
as you know, and he was into doing these contests like you see on TV.
yeah,
And we did those for about 3 years. Learned a lot. Glad we did it. Glad we don't do it now because it's so much work. I mean,
did you
wouldn't-
travel like around the country doing it?
No, just Maine.
Yeah.
There are 2 or 3 contests in Maine throughout the summer months,
Yeah.
and we did those. It's amazing how you wouldn't believe how serious
Oh, God. I was just
those
thinking
are. A lot of tips and tricks, and we learned some tips and tricks. Like I said, we're glad we did it, and now we're glad
Yeah.
that we don't do it.
I mean, that's people's lives. They live it. Yeah.
Oh,
So passionate
absolutely.
about it.
Yes.
Now, are there any type of like superstitions as far as barbecuing and smoking stuff?
Like not breaking like the mirror that's in my smokehouse, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, not yes, like
Uh,
not smoking on a full moon or
Oh no.
something like that.
That's the best time to
Okay,
walk around.
there we
and
go.
Walk from the house to the smokehouse without tripping.
Because it's a labor of love. It's very intensive. Like you keep,
It
it's a commitment.
is.
Like you have to take some crazy hours, don't you? Like what's the
It
most
is.
intense stuff to smoke, and like what's the requirement?
The pork butts for something like the chili. I get one of my smokers going at like 6 in the evening.
In the evening.
Get it established. Put the pork butts in. They'll smoke all night, overnight for like 14, 16 hours. And they're so tender when you take them out that you could put a fork in it and turn it, and it's done. So basically on that, you're starting in the evening and it's coming off like in the mid-morning the next day. It's fun though. Get up at 2, 3 in the morning, check the smoker, make sure everything's okay, tuck it in, and then go back to bed.
See, I think I get too nervous and be up the whole time. Did I mess up something? Like, what's it doing? I think it was like last summer. One summer we were doing an event, and you were smoking a bunch of stuff. Maybe it was the mug club thing, and hadn't rained all year. I remember we came in. We're all here at 4 a.m,
Oh.
pouring rain out.
That was,
But you had a big smile on your face. I mean, that's your element.
oh yes. Yep.
People are coming out of the
love
woodwork
it.
to help.
That's when I'm in the zone.
Nice.
What's what you have smoked? I didn't think something's possible. You know, like cheese and like deviled eggs.
I know.
Like, is there a parameter? Like, do you work up to? Do you try everything, or are there certain things you take away?
Over the course of time, it's experimentation. For example, that the hot sauce that is sitting there is like I learned probably about 3 years ago that I could smoke liquids.
I was just going to ask,
Interesting.
how do you smoke a liquid?
So,
Not have a pipe.
basically take like a big steam pan, which is kind of like a big hotel pan that you'd see at a buffet, stainless steel, and pour, whether it's like, can do olive oil, can do spirits in some cases. That was a hot sauce where you make the hot sauce first to where it's actually a finished hot sauce, and then I put it in a pan in a cold smoker for a few hours and just add like a smoke flavor to it.
Oh, interesting. So you specialize in cold smoking?
Yeah, I'd say that's my specialty.
What, I mean, besides the obvious, what is the difference between
So
the two?
with
Like,
cold smoking, you're running the smoker at almost like room temperature, 70 to 80 degrees or sometimes less.
yeah.
With the cheese curds, I try to run it at refrigerator temperatures, which I can actually do.
Wow.
So you can run it at like much lower.
Yeah, so all
temperatures.
you're doing is taking the food, let's say cheese curds, and you're not warming it, you're not cooking it, you're not
Yeah.
changing the texture, you're just adding smoke flavor to it. Whether it's cheese curds, nuts, olives is another product. They're all done at that low temperature where I'm just adding a smoke flavor.
Gotcha.
Does like humidity and temperature and all that outside affect that stuff?
It does. Humidity, it's not wonderful for that process, so I try to stay away from, those hot, humid days in the summer, although if that's going to be the weather in the summer, I get up real early and do my batches before the sun actually gets up.
Quite a science.
Yeah. Now, are there certain things, certain types of food that lend themselves more? Like, I
Yes.
guess my question is like, when would you decide to smoke something versus barbecue it? And what's the difference?
Oh, that's a good question.
So the things like that you just smoke, for example, a deviled egg, I actually take the eggs and hard boil them and then separate them out like you would for normally just making deviled eggs like your grandma would. And then before the whites are just ready to be filled, those whites go into the cold smoker. So you just want to add like a smoke flavor to these cold smoke products. But when it comes to cooking, that would be you're running the smoker at like 225. That would be a good low and slow for like a brisket or pork butts or kielbasa, chicken. We could keep going.
Oh,
I think we should try one of those
Yeah,
deviled
this is
eggs.
making me so hungry.
Let's try it. So I worked in kitchens for a long
So
time.
hungry.
Did you?
Yeah, and one thing I guarantee you're probably going to cringe, but when I say this, liquid smoke, that stuff. I mean, that stuff was powerful, and if you didn't use it correctly,
It's very potent. You have to
look at
you have to
these.
use them. Use liquid smoke very sparingly, I would say,
Oh,
which I don't.
Smell them. Yes, please. Thank you.
do you still imbibe in your products? Oh,
I'll join you.
perfect.
I'm going to make sure they're okay. These actually,
They look
do you like the
beautiful.
flavor of a horseradish?
Yes.
You'll notice that.
Any girls out back want some?
Maggie?
No, thank you.
They look
So good.
beautiful.
I know from when I came one day a couple of years ago, and I had some of these, and you and Ashley were down at the Woodshed.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that you were a deviled egg aficionado.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
They are they're a staple at holiday meals.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother used to make them. No one can get her recipe right except my sister.
Yeah.
And I have the little tray, people bought me to do them. And like, we've had contests like at Christmas stuff, like making
right.
deviled eggs, all different types. Like it's, I actually saw there's a deviled egg restaurant in the Midwest somewhere. We should go.
Ooh,
Oh, those are good.
I'm game.
Maybe one more.
So how do you come up with your recipes and is it just trial and error?
Mhm.
Like you can definitely over smoke. I mean, you can under smoke
Yes.
stuff. You can over smoke stuff.
That's correct. Trial and error, and when you come up with a good result, I take notes.
I was going
I
to
always write it down. I've got a big journal that goes back 6 years, and it's got all the batches in it. And, you come up with a good recipe, write it down so you can, because if you're selling things commercially and in stores, you want to have your results come out consistently.
Right.
How easy was that process? Because a lot of Mainers, are self-sufficient entrepreneurs to make that step where you would trying stuff out, giving it to your friends, and wow, I have a good thing. Like I want to take the next step and get my packaging.
It was difficult at first because, when I was trying to get products into stores, 5-6 years ago, I would give, stores and customers samples.
Yep.
And then I listen very intently to feedback. So, but as time goes along and you get your foot in the door and people are buying your products, I'm who does every step of my business from start to finish.
Sales, product production, shipping,
I love
marketing.
it. So
And nothing's a better marketing tool
Right.
than just showing up with a tray full of smoked deviled eggs.
Right?
right.
Because boy, doesn't it work.
So as you get more and more feedback, I get more and more confident as to, yes, this is working well as a product, or, and I've tweaked things along the way. And like I say, I listen to my store owners, my customers, and, as far as, because, believe it or not, I'm not the best taster of my products. I'm working around smoke all the time. So it's like, I have to, have other people. I have super tasters.
Sure.
And I think, my wife says that, I've been working and barbecuing for so long that I think I have like a 1/4-inch smoke ring in my skin. Like,
I've never,
like a good brisket would. I think
when your cat
That's the
muscle
deal.
starts.
We'll take your
Right.
word for it. We don't need to kiss you today. And I've seen you use social media very well, but you're also putting in the miles. Like you got a pretty good route. And
Yeah.
watching your social media, you've started local and branching out. And
Yeah. I've got a kind of a loop that I do that's from central Maine, Augusta, Waterville, Gardner area down to the mid-coast. And that's actually been my loop as far as my wife and I do camping in the summer, and we camp down in the Rockland area. So I have I've developed over the last few years several customers and stores in the Rockland, Camden, Rockland, Rockport area, South Thomaston.
Nice.
It's fun.
Yeah. Now, do you do custom smoking?
I do I do some collaboration as far as specialty batches of things that aren't on retail.
Right.
Collaborating. That's actually one of my favorite parts of
Oh, nice.
This
the
business.
whole thing.
Do you smoke sweet stuff?
Actually, I do.
Really?
Now you got to
So-
chase attention.
So
A smoked whoopie pie?
you could do that. I've never done that, but I'll tell you that Valentine's Day will be coming up soon. And last year Valentine's, or it might have been the year before, this might sound, on the sweet front, this might sound bizarre, but think about a Three Musketeers bar with a little bit of smoke flavor added to it.
I can see it.
Or maybe a Reese's cup.
Oh yeah.
Smoked peanut butter.
Smoked chocolate.
Smoked chocolate.
I just did a batch of brown sugar cubes the other day. Smoked.
For like cocktails or
Coffee.
coffee.
Drop a couple of smoky sugar cubes into
Oh,
a
yeah.
cup of dark roast. It might, some people be, no, but it's pretty decadent.
Yeah. Now, do they have like smoking competitions like they do with barbecuing?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
It's not that I know of.
You guys might have found a niche right there.
Or maybe, yeah, might not be, that nail biting
Right. Oh, yeah.
excitement of the barbecue.
That was
Sweet.
actually stressful. They have this turn-in times, blah, 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 for like the different meats, like you've probably seen on,
Yeah.
TV. It's, yeah, you're pulling an all-nighter. And so, like I said, it's pretty crazy.
I got one question before we go to fan questions. Were you a dry barbecuer or a wet barbecuer?
I would say wet.
What about you?
Whatever I got.
I like sauce.
Yeah.
Maggie?
I do not have a part in this question. No answer.
She's too young to enjoy barbecue.
So in Kennebec Cabin Company downstairs, we offer the sauces.
So you see the sauce with a cork on it. That's carried at the Kennebec Cabin Company, as well as the same sauce in a spicy version.
Nice.
You also carry the backyard dry rub, which is a
Yes.
all-purpose barbecue dry rub that you'd sprinkle on, let's say, chicken or burger before grilling or smoking. And there's a Maine sea salt. It's a smoked sea salt that you carry in at KCC.
Oh, that's good to know.
I
I didn't know we had the salt.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
And where else can people find your stuff around here?
We actually right in Manchester, the Lighthouse, Manchester Meats.
Two great businesses. Lighthouse
Yeah.
is right across the
Yep.
street. They have wine and cheeses and
Seafood.
high-end seafood. And then
Yep.
Manchester Meats is a new place with a butchery and
Yeah,
the best pizza around, I
Yeah,
hear.
fantastic pizza.
they're excellent clients of mine.
Yeah.
Love them.
Nice.
Manchester's the place to be.
It is.
It really is.
Right?
It's worldwide headquarters.
Yes. All right. Do we have a few fan questions for Dr. Dave?
We do.
We didn't ask him. Perfect.
I'm going to have another deviled
Yeah.
egg while Dave
go.
answers the questions.
I know eating a next door microphone is not the They don't go too hand in hand.
A little ASMR. Is that what it's called?
We're not doing. That's gross.
Oh. All right.
I don't want to hear that, and I would have to.
Then answer the question so I can eat while you talk.
All right. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Beth Connor asks, is there a difference between Maine barbecue and barbecue from Texas or North Carolina? Very
I
specific.
don't think. I would say that Maine barbecue doesn't really have a, I don't know, specific characteristic about it like it does in the Carolinas or Texas.
So Carolinas is
It's pork, it's whole hog. You know, there's actually within the Carolinas, there's actually several different. They've got their own little regions
Yeah.
with their different types of sauces, either vinegar based, mustard based, or ketchup-y. Texas is more, really beef, brisket, and mesquite. Maine, it's not. I would say it's not really in the barbecue belt, so to speak. So-
That's fair. But it can be done.
It can be, absolutely. Applewood, my favorite. Nice Maine wood. Nice
Applewood.
hardwood.
Well, I was going to ask you, like, where do you source your wood, and what type of wood do you use the most?
Applewood.
Oh,
I
okay.
love it. It's a nice light smoke flavor. It's my favorite wood to use, and especially for hot smoking, like cooking, barbecuing. Also, cold smoking. It's very, very versatile.
Are there any types of wood you shouldn't use for smoking?
Pressure treated.
That's correct. I stay away from that.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
No, that's
That's probably a good answer.
Probably the only one, really, when you think about it.
yeah.
All right, next question.
Alrighty. This one is from Teresa Dorr. What's the weirdest / coolest thing you've ever smoked?
That's an excellent question. And I'm going to tell you ice.
What?
Yeah, how do you do that?
I'll tell you that this little story started out as a total, it's a byproduct of in the summer when it's too warm, when it's hot and humid, even at night. If I have to get up in the morning and do a batch of, let's say, cheese curds, and I wake up and it's 65 degrees, it's already warm in the smokehouse, I would put aluminum pans of ice water in the smoker to keep the temperature in there lower. And then at the end of the smoking of your food, you end up with this smoky ice water or smoky water. I found that if you take that smoky water, filter it through a coffee filter, and then freeze it in ice cube trays, you end up with a smoked ice that, let's say, in a Bloody Mary,
Yeah.
drop a cube of that in a glass of bourbon, or you could go down a lot of different roads with it, but sounds bizarre. It is bizarre, but that's the weirdest thing I've ever done.
That sounds pretty interesting.
Very interesting.
Right? A smoky
I'll bring you
margarita?
some.
I was just thinking,
Smoky margarita.
I was thinking what the greatest thing you ever brought me on my birthday. I made a tray.
Oh,
Pigs? Are they pig shots?
pig shots.
Oh God, that's one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth. And I have put
my
a lot of
goodness.
things in this mouth.
Wow.
It was bacon.
Yeah, you make a shot glass out of meat. So you take a piece
Doesn't that
of
sound good?
Yes.
kielbasa, you take a ring like a slice of kielbasa, set it down flat. Take a half piece of bacon, wrap it around
Yep.
the kielbasa, toothpick to hold it all together.
Yeah.
And then you make a cream cheese brown sugar mixture and squirt it down in there.
Love my cream
And then
cheese.
those go in the smoker with a little bit of bourbon in the pan and a little bit of barbecue sauce. They're
Wow.
heavenly.
They are heavenly. And you get a little drizzle on it. Oh, smoky.
Yeah. When's your birthday anyway?
November. I'll be ready.
So, do you have more questions?
I mean, you can ask them if you want.
I've got a question. It was one of them. One of the questions was about barbecuing up in Maine and places with cold temperatures. Are there tips for barbecuing in cold temperatures? Do you leave the lid down? Do you leave the lid up?
Yeah, if you're looking, you're not cooking.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a mantra in especially in the winter.
If you're looking, you're not cooking.
That's right.
Good to know.
You know, in the winter, I mean, part of it is the equipment and my smokers they're insulated,
Yeah.
and so they're geared for using year round.
Sure.
You know, in the winter, I can do a batch of pork butts overnight, like I mentioned, like I explained before. It doesn't really affect the smoker performance. It just takes more fuel
Gotcha.
on like a 14-hour cook. But if you had a regular kind like you'd get at, let's say package stores, lower end type, you'd be babysitting it a lot more in the winter because of the extreme temperature difference between what you're trying to cook at and ambient.
Yeah. Right. Interesting.
So it can be done. Just
Can
more
be
work.
done. Oh yeah. Don't give up.
All right. And then my last question is, what is the best barbecue joint in the area? Because right now
In the
I am
area.
starving and I would drive there immediately.
In the area. Let's see. Are there any in central Maine?
There's the one downtown, right?
Downtown.
Oh.
There's a place up in Farmington. I don't
What's
know if they're
that?
open year round. Right beside the Big Irving, right on Route 4.
Oh, I've heard about it, but I've
Yeah.
never been there.
Place in Freeport was good.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That's
Buck Naked?
Bucks Naked.
Bucks Naked. Something like that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I lied.
I'd have to-
One more question. What's next? I mean, what is something you've always wanted to try smoking, but never have been able to? Like, what's next for you as far in the smoking world? What's coming out new?
A whole goat.
All right.
What they sometimes call, I think it's in Spanish, cabrito. Oh yeah,
So instead of a pig roast, a goat roast type
that's
of?
right.
Nice.
I try a
know.
bite, see if I liked it.
Oh, you would pass out for it.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dave, for joining us.
Well, thank you. You're
Yeah, thank
very,
you,
very
Dave.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you for the deviled eggs.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
The bounty.
You can find Dave's products in our store and other areas around Central Maine, and yeah, appreciate it.
Keep smoking, Dave.
Thank you, man.
All right. So after this, we're going to come back. We have a new fun segment. So stick around. We'll check it out.
Man, that just made me hungry.
At the break, we were talking about several things. We have barbecue here, and it's really darn good.
We do. We've got smoked meats.
We've had a couple of those moments lately.
I know. But again, like Dr. Dave's chili is just so hard to beat. And yeah, for everybody listening who doesn't like to hear people eating, we apologize. But
Right.
it was too good to pass up.
I didn't like it either. So we can all suffer in misery together.
We know you speak for the masses.
Yes.
I do.
Well,
But yeah.
we loved it.
Check him out on Facebook. He's always telling you where his stuff's going to be, and he's here at the Woodshed all the time. So
Yeah.
thank you, Dave.
So we have a fun new segment now.
Yeah, what's that? I was reading the problem. I was like, what is going on?
So how do we want to lead into this one?
There's some stuff going on behind my back.
This is your creation. I think you
Tell me
take
what's going on.
charge,
This is
Dave.
exciting.
All right. So we came up with the idea of coming up with different paint names.
Okay.
Yep.
How does this going to work, Taylor?
I love how you give it all to me.
Yes.
When I got a phone call from Chase, I was like, I have this amazing idea. And now he's like, Taylor, what did you come up with? Anyways, we'll give you paint names, kind of fun paint names, and see if you can tell if they're real Benjamin Moore.
If they're
Colors?
real paint names or not.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
We'll start with that.
Let's start with that then.
All right.
Okay, are you ready?
We are.
First one is saddle soap.
Oh, we can't ask her because she's the horse person. Saddle soap seems like it's a thing.
So is that a real color that Benjamin Moore has paint in?
What do you?
I'm gonna say yes.
I don't know what. Do they even wash? Have you seen them clean a saddle before with soap? Girls,
I mean, they have everything else for horses. Why not have this specific soap?
I'm gonna follow Chase and say yes.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Do you know about saddle soap?
I don't frequently wash my saddle.
Oh wait, so it is really for washing a saddle?
I have no idea what color this paint.
No,
I have no
what?
idea.
Is saddle soap a real thing?
I don't know.
So if anyone knows more about saddle soap, please send us some
I mean,
information.
saddles are made of leather, and there's leather soap.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Okay. Anyways, next one. Perfectly pesto.
I mean,
I think it sounds perfect, but not. See, I'm
pesto's pretty green.
right. What's the perfect pesto? Is it different shades?
I'm gonna say it's real.
I don't think it's real.
It is real.
Yes.
All right. Next one is snowflake.
There's like how many white shades are there really? There's like
Oh, there's so many.
So many.
Oh, there's so many.
Real.
I'm gonna say not real because like there's too many different shades of white.
That is fake.
Oh, I thought I was right. I thought I had that one for a minute.
Nope. All right. Next one is purplicious.
Benjamin Moore.
That can't be real.
I think Benjamin Moore, like they're in tune with what's going on. They're trying to get to the younger generation. They're hip. That is real.
That is real.
No.
Purplicious.
Purplicious. That's like bubblicious.
Well, you can only go to school. Like, painted my room this week. What'd you paint it? Purplicious. I mean, it sounds pretty cool. What'd you paint it? Burgundy. Taupe.
All right.
Eggplant.
Okay. You two need to stop. I'm gonna read the next one now. Cabin brown.
I mean, we use a lot of cabin brown.
That's not real, but it should be.
I'm gonna say it's real.
That is fake,
Ah,
but they do have wilderness cabin, log cabin, and cabin fever.
cabin brown should be in the main
Well, it should be.
cabin
it should be
masters arsenal.
Maine Bureau of Parks and Recreation brown, right? Because remember the brown at the camp?
Oh yes.
The Wilkinson camp was that color.
Yeah.
That's a distinct brown that you see in all the
It is
in the campground.
It is
stuff.
like forest green, cabin brown.
That was a trick question. You should give Chase half a point.
Nope, not how we're doing it.
No mercy here.
All right. Next one is pale celery.
That's got to be real.
That's not real.
That is real.
No, it's not.
Man, we were tied at halftime. I'm taking away.
Pale celery?
It's one of those like whitish colors.
With just a tiny little hint of green.
Ew.
You know. Why
Maybe
is that
little
gross?
Strains of green
Vegetable.
going through it.
Alrighty. Ferret.
That's not real either.
I feel like there's different colored ferrets, so I'm going to go not real as well.
That is real.
No, it's not.
It's really called ferret brown.
Took out the brown because a lot of the colors were like parrot blue or
Oh,
ferret
sure,
brown.
sure.
But
Ferret?
We have to use one of these in one of our projects coming up.
We do use cabin brown.
Alrighty. Next one.
Purplicious walls.
Campfire cozy.
Oh, that's real.
That's a candle for crying out loud.
We probably sell it downstairs.
I got to say not real.
That is fake.
God.
This one is.
I don't paint them. I just put them up.
The next
We should
one.
get Jake in here to do this. Phone a friend.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Professional.
Indiegogo.
Real.
Indigo go. Fake.
Real.
Yes. I only because of if Purplicious is real,
Right?
Indigo Go is real.
Arsenic.
No.
I guess yes.
That is fake.
Phew.
But there is another paint brand that does carry a color under this name, along with one named Dead Salmon.
Blech. Wait, what color would arsenic be?
What color is that? It's on the periodic table.
The metal? Silver? No, arsenic's. Yeah, arsenic is not a metal.
It's not an element.
No, it's not.
It's just a poison.
green, black.
I don't know.
Probably. I feel like it's green.
I didn't dig that deep, right?
All I think when I hear arsenic is apple seeds, right? Isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I might be. They might have cyanide.
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
I think it's cyanide.
Oh.
Okay. Last one.
Arsenic.
Dead salmon. Can I get a couple of gallons of dead salmon?
Last one is kitten whiskers.
That's gotta.
That better be fake.
That's gonna be in today's society. That is true.
That is real.
No!
JC, you're really bad at this.
Hey, when your dad's gone, let's paint his office. Kitten whispers.
It's a cream pink color.
That would go really good with pale celery.
Just cover me with a bunch of arsenic.
Oh my god, that was a lot of fun. That's right up there with phone a friend or whatever it is.
Oh, we have more too.
So save 'em for another day.
No. No, it keeps going.
Yeah. Now I'll give you the name and you have to tell me the color.
Red, green,
The first one is Hot Lips.
red, a reddish.
Yeah, that's got to be like
Yeah,
lipstick red, right?
Yeah.
Pink.
That's hot pants,
Hot
not
pink.
hot lips.
Yeah, I would have had bright red, right? Like, all right.
Yeah, this is a pink. This is a very strong pink.
I'm just amazed at technology. That just popped up on a screen in front of us. This is amazing.
This is great.
Okay. We're going to speed this
All
bad
right.
boy up. Salmon Stream.
That wouldn't be pink?
More of a little orange, pinkish orange. Oh, it's Cabin Company.
Brown.
What?
Yeah, that had some orange in it though.
That's kind of salmon-y. Brownie.
Okay.
I know what you're saying.
Pinata.
Ooh.
I don't know why I said it like that.
I picture a lot of colors, but
I know.
what's like the true pinata? Is it like?
I'm going to go yellow.
Is a true pinata a donkey? Like if you had to think of it,
No, there's a whole show on Netflix about pinata making.
you're going yellow. I'm
Yeah.
going off-white.
Orange.
Oh, my favorite color.
That is very pinata-y.
I don't agree with that.
Alrighty. Next one is Intuition.
It's not a name of a paint color.
For me, it's black.
It should just be thinking really hard, right?
Oh, like what's one of those
Do you have
warm
a
like
color?
energy colors, like green or blue? Probably Intuition.
Gray.
Final answer.
Blue.
Blue.
Dang it!
Once again, it's better to be lucky than smart.
All right.
I do not have intuition.
Now, Desolate.
Black or brown? Oh,
Gray.
light brown.
Cream/white.
I'd give that to Dad.
That's not that different than intuition.
So, true.
Or pale celery.
All right. Mountain Ridge.
Darker grays.
Oh, yeah, I feel like brown is my
Purple.
answer. Ooh,
That's kind of a dark gray.
that's
That's
not
a purple.
purplicious.
That's purple.
I like that color.
Okay.
Write it down.
Seduction. This one says, sorry, Maggie.
Oh, seduction. A color.
Seduction, magenta, a nice deep burgundy.
Green.
Purple. Looks like a mountain ridge.
That could be eggplant too.
Okay.
At least that's seduction better.
Lake House.
Ooh, gray.
Gray, yeah. I'm going.
Brown.
Oh, okay. Almost went cedar shake.
That could kind of be gray.
I think in our world, we've had like a million of colors. Like,
Yeah.
Almost pink.
it'd be
Maybe
tie-dyed for us.
TV. All right.
It's like that dress thing, like the one person sees a
Oh yeah,
dress.
yeah,
one
yeah,
color.
yeah, yeah.
Salamander.
Greenish.
Yes, greenish.
Dark blue / green.
All right, that's greenish.
It looks more blue to me.
Does.
All right.
We're gonna have to post all these colors on something so people can know what we're looking at.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor's on it.
Already on.
Thicket.
Tan. We haven't said tan yet.
Thicket. What if it's in the spring before it's died? I'm gonna say green.
Gray / green.
These are hard.
I'm not good at this game.
I would not.
Okay.
They wouldn't hire me as a paint color namer.
And a last one. Appellation.
Appellation. I gotta go red. I don't know why, but I think it's more of the place than.
Yellow.
Light teal / mint.
Woo, nope.
We are
not even
horrible at
close.
this game. How would we even study for the next round of this?
Right, bring the sample book home and
It's
wonder-
endless.
I wonder how many colors they
unbelievable.
do have.
Oh, so many. It was like a wormhole. It was a whole thing. It's impressive.
Nice job though.
That was fun.
Yeah, thanks for putting that together.
Of course.
Yeah, who knew?
Interesting.
Who knew?
I love paint games.
We'll have to test Ashley.
Yes.
All right. Well, now we are on to fan questions.
Yes. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
This one is from Cynthia Casper. I saw a post that MCM built a duplex and it's now for sale. Did you have a separate crew for it, and how long did it take you to build? Can you tell us about it?
Good question.
That is a good question.
That's the project we've been talking about a little bit.
Yeah. The MLS number is.
You could probably hit it with a golf ball from here. It's
Yep.
in Manchester.
Yep.
When we Scotty and I and Jedi were talking about today, we started about a year ago in February. So it took us less than a year.
Was it that?
But with the build, like we got the lot probably.
That's right. We had Mark Burtwell get the foundation
Yeah.
done before the cold weather. Oh yeah, and we had we had the tractors over there clearing off the slab.
Yeah, they made Mark and the crane.
Yeah, so we're working on a project. There was a lot for sale close by. We purchased that and ended up building a spec house on it. It's a duplex.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's got radiant heat. It's on a slab. It's well insulated, 2x8 walls with spray foam and Roxel spray foam in the ceiling.
Bowling alley upstairs, kind of.
Huge storage space upstairs. Both units are 2 bedrooms. One's 2 bath, one's single bath.
They both have character. Like the single one has a cool vaulted ceiling.
And for us, our schedule, it's so build wise, it's so up and down because we have to work with a film crew. So when we're finishing projects and starting new ones, sometimes we try to avoid it, but a lot of times there's a lag time.
Mm-hmm.
And so by having this build project, we could keep guys going so that there wasn't downtime for them. And then we definitely did stuff we wouldn't normally do.
There's that dreaded S word.
There is that dreaded S word.
Thank God we have good friends.
Yep, it's sheetrocked, but mudded and taped, and then
Tons of insulate. It gets warmed right up just like that. New
Oh,
heat
yeah.
pumps.
great
radiant
heat
floors.
pumps, great furnace,
Yeah.
a propane on-demand boiler system.
Great location.
Yeah, and so it was a nice fill-in project, and now it's on the market. It's active listing, so hopefully we'll be able to move on to the next one.
It was a fun project. I've always thought we needed something on the side because now we're at the point where usually always was people will always want to work, and it was really good to have that project. A new build. It was tougher than like saying having like a remodel of an old house or something.
Yes,
Because we might not go there. There was times we weren't there for 3 or 4 weeks and trying to get back in it. You definitely, as a crew, get into the mindset.
Yep.
And
And
get over 'em.
there really is a difference between new home construction and what we do on the cabins. Like without a doubt,
We had a list of stuff. You had that from the state and codes. And
Oh yes, and then everything has to be. And then we've always said it. Like we're all capable of fine home building. It's just not what we do for Maine Cabin Masters.
Really, we did it because a couple of the guys on the crew saying we want plans. Give it. They keep complaining about plans, but we gave them plans, so
Yep.
they won't complain about those for a while. But you asked who was working on it. I think it started last winter. Framing was a bunch of us on it. You and I would come and go, but over the time it was just different crews. Like one, around the camps, one crew would be done a little bit earlier. They could sneak over there. Then we get subs in, and
Yeah, I think honestly, everybody on our team has worked on that project.
we've all done time at Kearns Hill.
But yeah, check out the listing if you're interested.
Yeah. And like I said, it's a great opportunity for someone because it has a rental unit or an in-law apartment. So for a family or, someone starting out, want to make some money, pay your mortgage.
Right.
Okay.
Thanks for the free advertising, Cynthia.
I think that's all we have time for questions today.
All right. Well, then we are on to So You Think You Know Maine trivia.
Oh, yes. This is a special week.
Special week?
Yeah.
Besides George and besides...
Did you pick an easy one?
Name that thing.
Nope.
Oh.
Okay. Last week.
Of course she would be nice to us.
First. It might be easy. What governor established the state's first Bird Day and Be Kind to Animals Week? That was last week's.
I'm going with good old Angus King.
I'm going to go with Governor Blaine.
It was Governor Percival P. Baxter.
Oh, we should have known.
Should have known that.
It's kind of easy.
Yes,
I
now
feel
that you
like-
say that, he had 2 Irish setters, right? Or Springer Spaniels or something.
Sort of an obvious answer.
Yes, they're buried up there, aren't they? They're buried in Baxter State Park.
Are they?
I think so. Aha! That would have been a...
They're shutting down one of their campgrounds up there to redo all the cabins.
Really?
We'll have to go see how they do. Glad they didn't call us. That's way far away.
Alrighty. Is everyone ready for this week's trivia question?
Yes.
This one is from our great aunt Sharon. I got a text today that said, "So you think you know Maine is enjoyed very much by your Uncle Lee and me," which I appreciate because I've been getting some hate lately for it.
Oh, no! Oh, from us?
From you two.
Oh, we don't count. That's our job.
Yeah. If you just made it easier on us, we'd love it.
That's no. And she reminded me of when Ryan was on the Maine trivia show on
I remember
TV.
that.
Okay, and so here is her question. She even told me the answer. 3 Native American tribes were involved in Maine's famous Native American claims case that were settled in 1980. The Penobscots and the Passamaquoddies are the best known of these tribes. What is the 3rd tribe? Do you know the answer?
Good question.
I think I do. I mean, we just spent some time up on tribal land, so I feel like I've got
And that ties into like what we've been doing lately.
a better understanding. And there's some great episodes coming up that we did up above Carrabassett Valley area. So, good question.
Cousin Ryan was on a trivia show.
Cousin Ryan was on the Maine Public Broadcasting version of So You Think You Know Maine as a contestant.
Oh, good. I was like, man, I don't remember being on that show.
And so was our Dingley cousin Scott Andrews.
Really?
Yep, he represented Mount Blue.
Ah, I didn't know that. Trivia all around.
Nice. All right. Well, if you're the first person with the correct answer at podcast@maincabmasters.com, you're going to get a great prize and live in infamy.
Yeah, and keep the questions coming. If you've got project pointers or want to be, possibly called out on a fan favorite, give us a shout or send an email to podcast@maincabmasters.com. Thank you for Dr. Dave for joining us today. Thank you for all the good treats. We always want to thank our sponsors, Hammond Lumber Company, Nelma, Hero Media Network, Kennebec Savings Bank, and from the Woodshed, we'll be talking to you.
From the Woodshed has been brought to you by Nelma. See the stamp, trust the quality. Hammond Lumber, your building project partner. Kennebec Savings Bank, helping our local community save, thrive, and grow for over 150 years. And Hero Media Network, connecting small business with new customers. From the Woodshed is a production of Kennebec Cabin Company. See you next time.